Now that we have our circles sanded down to their final diameters, we're going to put our input for our phone on piece number 5. So take piece 5 out and let's do some layout. In your step-by-step process, we're going to flip open to part 3. In part 3, it's going to give us the steps and figures bolded in black. Don't forget, a figure is a picture that tells you exactly what the step-by-step process is trying to tell you. Now the piece should fit in like so you have a visual perspective of how to lay this out. So step 1 says measure and draw a line 3/4 of an inch from the top of the piece. In the picture in figure 1, it shows you 3/4 of an inch and the line going across. Measure 3/4 of an inch from the top and make a mark with your pencil. Take a square and square your line at that mark. If your piece is not exactly square, another way to do it is to measure 2 different points from the top, 3/4 of an inch, and then you can turn and use your ruler as a straight edge to make sure it's parallel. This provides the depth of how far the phone is going to go in. The second part of this step 1 is to find the center 2.5 inches from the side and draw a center line. Measure 2.5 inches over, make a mark with your pencil, and use a square to square a line down. The second step asks us to measure the width of your phone and find the center, and then align the center of your phone with the centerpiece on piece 5 to trace to find the width of your phone. First, put a second block down so it makes it easy for your phone to lay flat on your piece. Now, instead of measuring, you can look at the power port on the bottom and line that up with your center line at your 3/4 inch. And then you can simply just trace your phone. Now, when you trace it, you want to make sure that you're slightly inside the sideline of your phone. We never want to be too big. We can always remove more material later. Now, it's giving you the absolute width. Make a mark, and then instead of having the curve, we're going to square that off. And you can see your phone fits. In this case, we decided to leave the phone case on for when we use it. Step 3 asks us to measure the thickness of our phone and transfer that to the top of piece 5. Refer to figure 2. So now, instead of actually measuring, I suggest we do this. We take piece 5, flip it upside down. Take your phone and flip it upside down. Now push the 2 together, use a ruler, lay it on top, and scribe a line across. This is going to give us a very close straight line. But we also have to take into account the thickness of the ruler. So now put the ruler back in place and scribe the other side of the ruler. Remember, it's always good to have a little bit less and take more off if we have to later. Step 4 asks us to align the front face of piece 5 and make marks where the speakers are in your phone. Okay, it asks you to refer to figure 3. So we're going to create channels so the sound can get down into the chamber. Now, if you have an iPhone, you're probably going to have two channels because they usually have their speaker and microphone on the bottom, allowing you to do things like FaceTime from across the room. So place it back in the center of your piece 5. Make 2 dots to outline the size of your speaker and microphone. And now take a straight edge, and we're going to draw parallel lines towards the center of the hole. So line up your ruler like the center, draw a line, move parallel over to the next dot, create another one. Now you don't have to put your microphone in if you don't want. This is an option. But if you do, make sure that there's enough of a little triangle in between so it's not super tight or it will chip off. And now mark all the pieces that you want to get rid of. One last little bit of layout is to transfer the width of our phone onto the top. Make some marks on the top equal to your width, and then use a square to square those lines down to the depth. Once this is done, your piece is now ready to take to the drill press, where you will drill out the bulk of your phone input, and then we will finish it up with some chisel work. Now it's time to take it over to the drill press.